What's wrong with this picture? I'll give you guys a second to marinate on that. You don't need a second. The sun's up, and we're a vampire. That's what's wrong with this picture. Hey guys, welcome back to Mark Jackson for some more Vampyr, and this may be the last episode. I'm not sure. You'll know before me. Oh, what the hell? Oh, here's our maker again. What do you got to say this time?
Beautiful morn, my child.
Keep it short.
It looks like dawn is here at long last.
Yeah, why are we not roasting?
Can't you just leave me alone? Your precious queen has been sent back to the bottomless pit from whence she came. The nightmare is almost over.
I am here to say goodbye. The sun's warmth exhausts me.
Just exhausts you, huh?
Soon
Why are we not roasting?
I will join my queen in her endless sleep. It is over. You did well.
It could have something to do with the serum we took in the previous episode when we faced Harriet and then the Red Queen. It could have something to do with that. So, but I want answers. I want it explained to me.
Why did Harriet Jones become a disaster?
I want it concrete.
You are the doctor. You hold the knowledge needed to answer such a question. Have you the answer?
That is a thing, because we only saw two, and they were both female. They were both related to each other as well, so...
I noticed that all the Icors were female, as if a male couldn't endure the metamorphosis. Harriet was also a bitter and resentful woman, as was her daughter.
If the Morrigan prefers despoiled women to become the vessels of her wrath, we should be thankful that but one disaster hath been cast upon this wobbling world.
This guy. Speak sense, man.
Icors seem to carry various diseases. They did not merely turn people into skulls. Their presence alone spreads
Agreed.
death.
Yeah.
Who knows whether the Red Queen awakens when cursed mortals endure such epidemics, or if the contagions emerge like a curse as she awakes.
So our beloved mother will just go back to sleep, now that enough people have suffered. Is that it?
No, Jonathan. The Morrigan has been appeased because you dared confront her. You have prevailed, my bittersweet champion.
Well, we know that.
What does she seek? Revenge? Retribution?
She seeks nothing, since she only dreams of it. In the ancient tongue, when I was young, her name meant Ghostly Queen. Pray she never fully awakens, for her wrath knows no bounds.
I'm going to ask anyway, but, you know, that right there, what they just said. Sequel much? Maybe we'll get another one of these games.
And what are you to her? Her counterpart? Her opponent in some timeless game?
She is my mother, my dreadful and sour-tempered mother. She is yours too, in a way, but you are not born from her terrible womb like me. You are but a distant child.
So, let me understand this. She doesn't want anything. She has... That's nice for a story game. She has no purpose. Doesn't want anything. You know, I mean, in the previous episode, is there enough suffering? Yes, Mother, you can go back. Okay, so maybe she wants suffering, but no, she was appeased because we whooped her ass, and why am I not getting the point? All right, I understand the part of the story with Swansea accidentally, well, he's trying to cure influenza, you know, the Spanish flu. I get that, and he accidentally unleashes this horrible virus, which apparently the Red Queen chooses women, and Harriet and her daughter got infected. I get that part, but I was hoping... Okay, well, we still got more to go. So. Yes, this is not over. I need the pieces put together for me. I'm usually good at this, guys, but...
over. I am here to find the true origin of the blood of hate.
'Tis unwise to interfere with a tale rooted so deeply in the suffering of
This one I do think I understand. I'll lay it out when he's done blabbering. Okay, Elizabeth has the blood of hate, and I think William Marshall is her creator, and he has the blood of hate, and we're about to meet this asshole. Obviously, this is the place that Elizabeth painted, but...
What will become of the vampire hunters?
They will never stop searching for William Marshall, for he escaped their 2 great hunts.
Speaking of the devil.
That you too are now on their dark list.
We might slide a little bit because we saved McCullum, but I doubt it. I would not respect McCullum if he didn't keep coming after us.
What will happen to Ascalon? Will you let them run the country from the shadows?
Excuse me,
I
guys.
don't interfere with petty political intrigues. Ascalon was built upon the lie of a lineage. Such a deceit cannot last forever.
It's true.
But Lord Redgrave definitely possessed Marshall's blood. Untainted blood from the greatest vampire knight.
Really? I wonder how he managed to acquire it. Perhaps I should retrieve this artifact before going back to sea.
That'd be a good idea. Redgrave doesn't deserve it.
What will become of the Brotherhood?
I foresee trouble for them now that your progeny considers becoming the new primate.
But I'm certain the current primate has no wish to resign.
Exactly. And I am
Swansea.
not fully convinced your progeny truly understands what dreadful power he is about to defy.
Yeah. Well... Yeah, you know, Swansea's optimistic and... Yeah, well, it's a slippery slope.
No.
For sure.
I must know why Elizabeth fled here when I discovered she was the original healthy carrier.
No,
I don't think she is.
She is not what you say she is.
No, she's not.
That is a secret you will discover soon enough.
We already know it's Marshall.
And you? Why are you here?
We don't
Which
already know,
new
but...
thread of which old twisted plan are you seeking to pull now? Tell me the truth.
I am just here to salute my sons and to bid them fare thee well.
Your sons? Plural? My God, will you ever stop speaking in riddles?
Perhaps I am too old for your spoken language. Perhaps you now have so many subtle words you no longer hear the simplest ones.
2 sons, that's pretty clear.
Speak clearly then, and answer my last question.
What is it?
Did I defeat the epidemic?
No, it
you
sounds
found the
plural.
castle, Jonathan Reed. Only you can answer that. Farewell, my child. I shall dream about you soon.
Oh man, we didn't get a chance to ask those other questions. Whoops. Alright, what I think... Yeah, you know, after that conversation, it's just more fuel on the fire that... Find a way to enter the castle. We can do that. Obviously, this is locked, but...
I cannot enter.
Yes,
The
I know you
castle
cannot.
walls look decrepit. Maybe I can find a way to sneak in.
I am still wondering why we're... no. Let's try the other way. If there isn't, yeah, it looks to be. Yeah, after that conversation, what sons plural? So there's 2 of us that you made? Well, I didn't meet him. This looks like a way in. I'd reiterate what I'm thinking to you guys, but I've said it for, what, 3 episodes now? I'll just say it one more time. We're going to meet Marshall. Look, the sun right on us, and we're not burning. We don't have our vampire powers to jet around either. Can we draw a weapon? No. Feel like this is the end. I wonder if we're going to have to do battle with Elizabeth. And yeah, the epidemic. What he said about when Jonathan asked him, did we solve the epidemic? And he said that's pretty much our choice. Well, the quote-unquote blood of hate, I'm assuming I'm going the right way. Yeah.
Maybe it's
guess.
just my imagination, but I think I smell Elizabeth's perfume.
All right,
She
more
must be
resources.
here somewhere.
Pause if you want to read, guys. I think I already know what's going to be hinted in these letters. If they're on topic, that is. I'll read them after the episode. Ooh. Ah. Well, she did say she posted for some of the greats.
Like most castles, this one has a crypt. And
I
it
said
holds
posted.
something special inside.
I meant posed. Sorry. Wow, that's us. That's the one she was painting.
Elizabeth, my love, you allow my portrait to watch over you while you sleep. I'm flattered.
Not really. Her bed's over there and you're looking the other way. But, hey. It's
This
something.
castle is falling apart.
Alright. Crypt. Need to go down. Yeah.
That sweet fragrance. Elizabeth's perfume. She was here, and recently.
Locate the secret passage. Got it. Fireplace. It's always a fireplace. Always. And we got... Yeah, we got
These
symbols.
I can feel a mechanism, but it doesn't work.
Maybe...
Here's another switch. I should keep looking.
More switches in this room. We need a primer though. Okay, there's one.
What are these symbols? I can feel a mechanism, but it doesn't work.
All right. Well, we got to keep looking around then because without knowing how to use them. But what do you want to? Oh wait. Well, do we need that?
Painting looks suspicious.
That paint? Which one? This one? It does, the moon. I'll explain to you how I know how to do this in a minute.
A sword and a moon are the symbols I should look for.
And we saw them both. We saw them both. The reason why I know how to do that is because of the hint system that allowed us to get into that secret area. Let's see if I can find one real quick. It's not collectibles. Well, yeah, it is. See this? Each one of these things has a... it's hard to see, but each... Probably can't see it on YouTube, but each one of these things has a dot to suggest that there's a hint, and that's what got us the Dragon's Bane. Like I said, I admittedly looked that up because I couldn't figure it out myself. At least not in a good time frame. So
One last
this
switch, and
yeah, good, and it's right over here. What? And this is the moon, right? Wait a minute. Did it? It did. It opened. It must have, because I activated it beforehand, and there was no particular order in what you had to, in which way you had to. That must be the case. Oh, damn. Damn. Pause if you want to read. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, I love to read, don't get me wrong, guys, but I don't like reading in video games. You know, I mean, if it's short and sweet dialogue, that's cool, but if it's, like, super lengthy... Uh-oh.
Drop your... Nothing to
Father, yes. We're right. That's Marshall. That's William Marshall and Father, she said.
Shall we abandon this, then? Shall we lower our heads?
No. Never. You taught me that.
Blood is approaching. Old but young. How strange. Shall I drink it? Smite it?
No, Father. He is a friend. Please, rest. I'll take care of it.
Caution, Elizabeth. Deceit runs through these veins.
The real healthy
I know,
carrier.
Father.
Even though he doesn't look so healthy.
What took you so long, Jonathan?
What are you going to do with that?
Is this
Oh,
really him?
Yes. This is William Marshall. 1st Earl of Pembroke, servant of 5 mortal kings, former regent and saviour of England. The greatest knight who ever lived, according to some.
And you called him father?
For he gave me eternal life, and much more.
I have so many questions, Elizabeth.
You always had questions, Dr. Reed.
Now that I stand before you both, in this vault,
crypt.
I know not where to begin.
We still have a few minutes left.
We know where we are, but...
Why did you flee here?
When you told me I was the healthy carrier, I had nowhere else to go.
You mean you had to return to the real source of this scourge?
Yes, to end it, once and for all.
And that's William Marshall. Of course. We saw that coming, but our maker also said, what are we going to do with the epidemic? And does that mean we have to destroy Elizabeth and her father?
Where are we? What is this place?
This is the Ashbury estate. I inherited the title when I purchased the castle.
Of course it is. And we saw that in the painting.
Is this your retreat? Something of a secret place?
It's more of a sanctuary, really. This is where I take care of my father. Ever since he became unwell.
I like the music, though I've liked the music throughout the entire game, as subtle as it is.
Are you not afraid someone might discover you here? It's not that hard to find.
Do not assume that I would hesitate to silence anyone who tried to reveal my secret. Fortunately, it has rarely come to that.
Will you go back to London?
No, Jonathan. I do not intend to.
And what of your daughter?
Charlotte is a strong, independent woman who's about to come into money. I took care of everything. Now it's time for her to shape her future.
Not yet, it is. Well, not yet. We'll see what we do here.
I have destroyed the disaster. This
Not
creature
yet.
that Harriet Jones had become.
Well, that,
The
but
epidemic is no more, and
Not
London
the-
will recover.
not the
in time.
bad blood.
Yes. You did well, Jonathan. You truly saved the city.
Yes, we did. Despite all obstacles. I'm truly convinced we did it together, Elizabeth.
I cannot bear knowing I was the cause of all this.
You
Through
weren't.
the use of my own blood.
No. This catastrophe was the result of unethical experimentation. And the will of a creature so inexplicably evil She exceeds all the terrible wonders I have seen since my death.
But it was my blood all along. My corrupted blood of hate. The poisoned blood of my father. A healthy carrier. That's all I am.
Is he dangerous?
What do you think? He is a thirsty Ekon, who has not fed in centuries. An elder vampire, driven by an urge to kill and spread the blood of hate.
No redemption, then.
And yet he thinks he has been offered immortality by the angels to protect the feeble and to smite the unholy.
Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Can he communicate?
Yes. Sometimes he even seems like the noble knight who saved and raised me. But you know, the malice never fully leaves his eyes.
I wonder how he got infected with the blood of hate. Maybe we'll learn.
Why are you hiding William Marshall here?
How could I not take care of him? He sacrificed himself by giving me the only dose of antidote he had.
He gave you the antidote?
Yes. And in doing so, he knew he'd have to be confined here. And yet he volunteered. That's how great a man William Marshall was. And still is.
Okay, but why don't you, if he hasn't fed in centuries and he's sickly and he's in pain, why don't you, like, bring him criminals or something and let him drink on them and kill them?
What do you do for him?
I visit him as often as possible. I paint the landscapes he will never see again. I feed him.
Ah, okay.
You feed him? You barely sustain yourself on the weak blood of the dying, yet you give him your blood?
After he saved me from the blood rage, I swore I would never kill to feed. He said the same.
But you have. Granted, they were doomed to die anyway, so...
We could cure him.
It's too late. The blood of hate has run for too long. The antidote would not work on him. I tried. Believe me, I tried.
William Marshall infected you. He is the true, original carrier.
Yes.
Put the Captain Obvious cloak on.
But he saved me by sacrificing himself.
Saved you? How?
The tears of angels. The cleansing of impure blood by an older, more powerful blood. It worked on me, did it not?
Yes.
Technically.
Blood is the definitive key to our species. Scowls, cleansing, lineage. Do you really think it worked?
It has, Jonathan. I was nothing but a beast who took pleasure in slaughter.
You're still a carrier,
I
though.
roamed across Europe, reaping my bloody crop. It was the blood of hate.
So why isn't the blood of hate all over Europe, then?
Cured me.
Why aren't there sick people, you know, infected everywhere?
How did you meet William Marshall?
He was an Ekon for centuries when he found me. He saved me from certain death by making me his progeny.
Did you ever blame him?
Not even when he was infected and bit me. He is my father. He raised me. He taught me how to behave.
Why did he choose you?
You should ask him that.
An awful lot of dialogue for a guy that we're just meeting that hasn't had a lot of direct relevance to the story. I mean, of course, it all starts and stops with him, but... yeah.
Who are you, really?
How could I answer that? I went through many lives and identities to reach this day. To you, I am Elizabeth Ashbury, and that's all I wish to be.
I understand. And I respect your desire for privacy.
Thank you, Jonathan.
What about us?
What do you mean?
You know my feelings towards you, Elizabeth. But you left without a word.
Yeah, we're not going to kill each other,
about
are
your
we?
feelings towards me.
I love you, Jonathan. I've loved you since the moment I saw you rescue poor Mr. Hampton in that filthy slaughterhouse, forgetting the danger as you turned your back, like the newborn fool you were.
Thanks for saving our butts that time.
You should have told me.
No, Jonathan. The William Marshall myth lies at the heart of so many hostile plans. I could not risk jeopardizing his safety.
So why did you come here? You knew I would follow you. I can't let you go.
Because I know now the blood of hate is still in my veins. No one but I can put an end to this tragedy.
I can help you. You can trust me, Elizabeth.
I know, Jonathan. You have been the most loyal ally these last few weeks. But this is my duty.
Would your protege agree to speak with me? I have so many questions for him.
Go on, Jonathan. But be careful.
Here we go.
Yes?
Sir William. My God. You really are William Marshall. You served Richard the Lionheart and his brother, King John.
Interesting.
It is such a privilege to meet you.
I did in my day. Come closer if you want to speak. For my hearing isn't what it used to be.
I think your hearing is fine, sir.
What is it you want then?
The blood of hate. How does it affect you? Do you feel it now?
The blood of hate? Yes. Nothing more than a sneeze, really. A sneeze held for so long, you could blow a fortress down if you released it.
That'd be really annoying.
Do you remember Murden, your maker?
Only God is my maker. For he created everything on this earth. He blessed me with eternal life through his archangel, Michael.
But Murden, Michael, is a vampire. He made you a blood-sucking creature of the night.
Blood, yes. I used to drink it from the throats of the unworthy. Then I was punished for my deceit. During my penance, I rely entirely upon my sweet Elizabeth.
We know how she was infected. We know he did. We know that too.
We could set you free. Let you out. Isn't that what you want?
I pray for the day I'll see the sky again. I have all but forgotten its colors. I could walk and do so many things beneath the stars. But I doubt it will be wise to release me.
Then will you stay here and repent?
Elizabeth told me it will not be long now. I cannot wait to feel the sweet caress of her hand on my cheek after so long as she releases me. Has the time come?
Yes, Father.
Why not unleash me then? To see the sky a final time?
You already are the sky, and all its stars.
I'm not defeated, for I welcome the sword you bear, for it is mine.
You were never defeated, my lord. Farewell, Father. And to you also, Jonathan.
What do you mean?
I can't stand what I've become. This healthy carrier, as you put it. The flames will purify the poison that runs in my veins.
No! I won't allow this to happen.
I am death, Jonathan. Wherever I go, I can't stand it.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, champion of Myrddin, chosen to save England from the vampire epidemic. I could cure you.
What do you mean?
We are creatures of blood, Elizabeth. Everything about us is in our blood. With time, I could perfect the antidote William Marshall gave you. Trust me, for time is on our side.
That is a risk I cannot take, Jonathan. I won't bring another such disaster into this world.
Elizabeth, no. Trust me. I can save you.
How could I trust you, Jonathan? How could I take such a chance?
I'll stay here with you then. As long as we must, until I find a cure.
You have no idea what you're talking about, Jonathan. Despite his madness, William was strong enough to starve for centuries. I doubt we can do the same.
We will lock ourselves down then. I'll get all the material I need and I'll perform my research here with you until you're cured.
Are you mad? Who would take care of us? Who would free us if it takes decades or even more?
Old Bridget.
Old Bridget.
Take care of us.
Yes.
You are serious, aren't you? You really are ready to do this?
I love you, Elizabeth. I can do this. Please, stay with me.
I believe you. This is crazy, but I believe you, Jonathan.
One prayer for the summoned, called by this song. Child born from darkness, whose path ye must find. Now the song is sung, and your path chosen. England is safe, for you have prevailed. I bid you farewell, my champion bittersweet. You found yourself a newer quest, and so I leave you to it. My queen sleeps once again, and I'll soon join her slumber, until alas she rises, woken by the hunger never fed.
So that's the one, huh? Hey, boys and girls, that was Vampyr. Let me get into what I thought, but real quick before I do that, I could have sworn in one of those scenes at the very end I saw... I thought I saw Jonathan Reed sitting in front of a laptop, and I thought I heard typing, which could very much suggest that he's still working on the cure all the way up to modern times today. I'm going to have to look at that again. I'm not saying that's exactly what it was, but it sure did look that way in the last thing. Now, let me get into this. I've got some notes here. All the way through the game, the story I thought was decent, but the way it was delivered and paced, I thought was great. Now, back to the story. I don't need to recap anything on the actual what happened during the story, but I do want to add, I really feel like the story fell apart at the end. It was clunky. I don't know a better way to say it than that, but it was clunky at the end there. You know, but with a game like this, and again, I've never played anything quite like this, we got to start with the strong things, and that was the dialogue. You know, the voice acting was fantastic. The dialogue was, how would I say it? I really enjoyed how it unraveled the story. The dialogue, I can't stop talking about it. As good as it was, the good news is, it was long. The bad part is, it was long. Some of it was priceless, some of it was pointless, and I felt like it just went a little too far. Even at the end there, where we had the dialogue options with the Marshal, and I skipped them, I'll admit it, because we already knew the answers, and anyway. So this game was all about This game was all about the interactions with characters and talking to them and this and that. I feel like I did enough of it. We only embraced 2 people. I meant to do more, but I wasn't, I didn't realize that the end was going to be coming right here. And I'm still kind of stewed. We got that Dragon's Bane sword and got all the way upgraded and had the parts to do the last upgrade on it. And well, then the end happened. Big deal. Let's see. What do we have here? Graphics. Well, the art style was nice, but the graphics, bearing in mind this runs on the Unreal Engine, it needed some spit and polish. It really did. Graphically, to me, it wasn't up to par. I've heard that there's a lot of bugs in this game. I don't think I encountered one, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I didn't have a problem with that at all. Throughout the series, I thought that maybe fast travel would have been a good idea, but I understand why they didn't implement that. I'm not going to mark the game down for that. But at the same time, with everybody getting sick and having to craft, vaccines and cures and what have you for headaches and fatigue and had you running all around, that got a little monotonous. You got XP for it. That's cool. It has you run around the world, and the world was a bit too much of a maze for me. I was constantly getting lost. Big deal. The map was very good. I'll give it that. But yeah, that got a little monotonous. Oh my God, who's going to get sick now? But I do like that mechanic when it comes to evolving or resting, where you level up and get your special skills and use your XP, and that you had to manage that. You couldn't just rest every single. Rest constantly. Otherwise, it would cost you with people getting sick. That being said, too many people got sick too often for me. And it just kept you running around too much. Liked the idea of it, but it was the amount they used it. Really liked the idea of it, but the amount they used it was too liberal for me. Probably the worst thing I could say about this game is that it was too easy. It was way too easy. I barely had any problems with it. Anyways, I'm looking at my sheet here, and is there anything else? Not really. I guess it's time to give the game a rating. I'm hoping for a sequel. I'm hoping that's what they're suggesting. I hope the game becomes popular. I think that it's probably an underrated game. I don't think. The game was out, this month, and I don't hear a whole lot of people talking about it. I hope it gets a little bit more notoriety. It sure does deserve it. It sure does deserve a playthrough. Where am I going to rate this thing? It lacked the spit and polish that it should have had. For the dialogue being as long as it was, the story shouldn't have become so sort of convoluted at the end. I wouldn't, and I said earlier that it fell apart. Let me rephrase that. It's just discombobulated. I wouldn't say that it fell into irrelevance, but I tend to view the end of a story as something like a tower, that falls down onto, the rest of the story. The beginning and the end of a story aren't important to me. It's the middle, of course. But the end falls down into the middle and either kind of spits on it or gives it a nice polish, and I think the ending failed to do that. I don't know where to rate this. I feel bad with what I'm thinking. 6.5. 6.5, maybe a 7. But a solid 6.5. Nevertheless, 6.5 isn't that's not a rating that I'd say, hey, go play this game. But I'm still going to tell you, play this game if you can. Even with a 6.5 rating, I'm still going to say go play it. Anyway, I've been Mark Jackson. If there's anything after these credits, I'll be sure to show you. Thanks for coming along on the journey, and look forward to seeing you in the next one.